I am redoing my backyard, and something I have always wanted is a pool. Growing up, I felt like a pool was only something that the rich kids had, and I've always wanted one, and I don't think that there's anything better than like sitting in the sun on a hot day, lounging by the pool. However, obviously a pool is going to be a really big upfront cost, and there's going to be ongoing maintenance costs to that pool as well for like the chemicals and the cleaning and closing it, heating it. To help me decide if this is something that I really want to do, I'm going to look at the cost per use and the trade-off cost. This is something that I highly recommend anyone doing who is looking at making a large purchase to see, is it actually worth it for you? So I've been documenting my backyard process on Instagram, and I actually got this question today on my Ask Me Anything. So let's break down my thinking and my math here. So an in-ground pool is going to run me about $80,000. And this is just the upfront cost. Like I said, there's additional carrying costs. I don't live somewhere that is warm all year long. We're going to get probably about 3 months a year that we can actually use the pool. If we swim 3 days a week, that's about 36 times a year, but I'm going to bump that up to 45 because there might be some warm days before or after summer. Now, I like to say that this is my forever home because I love it and it is my dream home. However, I'm being realistic to say that we'll probably stay here for about 10 years. If I live here for 10 years and we swim 45 times a year, that's 450 swims that we are going to get out of this pool. We're going to divide that $80,000, that initial purchase price, by 450 swims, and that's going to give me a cost per use or a cost per swim of $177. This is not including the carrying costs. So now we know the cost per use. We also want to look at the trade-off cost, or the thing that I could get if I didn't spend the money on this other thing on the pool. So the trade-off would be I could use that $80,000 for vacations instead. So if I use that over the next 10 years, that would be $8,000 a year for vacation, where I could go swimming somewhere tropical where somebody else takes care of the pool, and I probably get free food because it's all inclusive. I look at the cost per use and the trade-off cost. I'm having such a hard time justifying this purchase. I don't want to be in a situation where I feel like I have to swim. You know, the kids want to do something else, and it's like, no, we have to go in our pool because we have to get in our 45 swims this year because it already costs us $177 per swim. And there are a lot of other really fun things that I could do, or I could do with the kids for $177 other than swimming. Now, I also considered an above ground pool, but because of the bylaws and the fencing requirements, I probably have to have a deck. It's going to run me about $50K anyways. And then that means that the cost per use is still super high, and so is the trade-off cost. If I live somewhere warm, I think that this would be a no-brainer. If I could use the pool all year long, then like I'm all fucking for it. But based on these numbers right now, I don't know if I'm going ahead. It's still something that I have to think about. It's still something that I have to wrap my head around. It's still something that I have to see. Does this feel good to me? Is this really in alignment with my values and my goals? And is this actually going to bring me true happiness? Because the point of money is to derive the most happiness possible out of every dollar that you spend. I'm a self-made millionaire who teaches you how to win with money. If you want to learn more, start with our free trainings or follow along, link in bio.